Hello and welcome back, my beautiful froggy army, to another video. Now you might be asking, Raven, why are you all the way over on the side of the screen? It's a valid question, it is. I've got a handy dandy extra table set up with me today because we are going to be testing a Woobles crochet kit. A lot of people that I know use these and really like them, and I have low-key been tempted to swipe my credit card on some of them because they have some Sanrio collaborations and they had some like Hello Kitty crochet hooks, and I was like, kind of want those. And I, as a crocheter of over 10 years, want to put these to the test because honestly, I'm gonna just be straight up with you. I've always been extremely skeptical of crochet kits. To me, all you need is like a $2 ball of yarn and a cheap crochet hook and you're good to go. I did find this Woobles crochet kit on clearance at Walmart for $10. The original price was $21. So we're gonna be putting this to the test. I am going to be giving my honest review about it. Does this actually help beginners? Let's go ahead and get into it. I gotta say, the packaging is pretty cute on these Woobles kits and I was kind of sad to like tear into it. Anyway, just as a disclaimer for this video, I actually recorded my thoughts and everything and actually a face cam as well in real time, but my microphone was actually unplugged the entire time. So if it looks like I'm talking in these clips, it's because I am, but VoiceOver Raven has to go back and voice over everything. So anyway, the Woobles kit brings everything that you need. All the materials are included, including the yarn, step-by-step videos, a pre-started piece, which was very interesting to me, a 4mm crochet hook, stuffing, plastic safety eyes, a yarn needle, and online instructions. On the package it says the time to complete is 3 to 8 hours, which to me is pretty crazy. 8 hours for something this small is a lot, but maybe that makes sense for a total beginner. My first impression was that the crochet hook feels really nice. It feels good quality. My only slight nitpick is that I wish the metal was a little more matte, but that's just me being picky, honestly. Also, bonus points for a metal yarn needle. That just feels nice. They could have easily given us a plastic cheapy needle, but they actually gave us a metal one, so I do appreciate that. It also comes with a card that has a QR code and a password for the instructional videos. So once you scan that and put in the password, you get to this website with a list of projects to pick from. So after searching for mine, I was able to find it, and then you can pick your guidance levels. So it's either have you crocheted before, nope, I'm brand new, or yes, I've done this before. I decided to go with nope, I'm brand new, just to see the level of detail that they were going to have in these instructions, and there was a lot of instructions. I just wanted to see exactly how they were trying to teach everybody. My first critique is that the way they teach you to hold the yarn is very weird and to me just more complicated. I don't necessarily agree with this way of holding the yarn. For beginners, getting your tension correct is really difficult to master right away, and I feel like with this method, you're gonna end up not having proper tension. You're gonna end up like basically squeezing your finger and like cutting off circulation low-key. For a beginner, I would not tell them to wrap the yarn around their fingers like that, but at the same time, the benefit of the doubt that I can give them is that beginners are a blank canvas, so if this is how they learn, then that's all they know. They get used to that pretty fast, and then soon enough they get their tension down and then they're just crocheting like normal. So I guess it's fine, just not the way that I would do it. The yarn ball comes with a pre-started magic ring, and the magic ring is a notoriously difficult way to start crochet projects for beginners, and it has stitch markers already inserted into key stitches to guide you. This is really helpful for beginners and I have no problem with it. As you'll see later on, they do have you start your own future pieces, so it's not like you'll never learn how to start a piece. They're just helping you with the very first one. I had this weird little hiccup where there's this extra knot in my started piece and I could see it in the instructions too, but then in the next step when they started putting the hook in, the knot was just gone and it didn't tell me to take it out. But with the knot in, it didn't allow me to tighten the working yarn, so I just took it out even though it didn't tell me to or not to. Realistically, it was probably there to prevent the started piece from unraveling, but that was kind of confusing. What was not confusing were the tutorials. They were very clear and actually very painfully detailed. The instructions show you every single little micro step, which is really good for absolute beginners who are asking a bunch of questions as they're trying to figure out this new craft. Like, where am I supposed to be sticking my hook into? Like, what exactly is the stitch? Like, where is the stitch? All of these little micro questions, I feel like they are answering them as they guide you through each stitch step by step. As I was crocheting, I don't know, I was kind of getting the vibe that the yarn was just feeling weird to work with. I couldn't really put my finger on what it was exactly. My piece was also starting to pucker, which should not happen, but I think it's because my tension is usually pretty tight and it was tighter than the pre-started magic ring piece that was included. They also started showing a graph to help you visualize the actual construction of the stitches and how they sit on top of each other. And they also started showing the written instructions for each round on the top of the screen. And I really like this because I think this will help beginners learn how to read written patterns. And it's going to help you get there way quicker as well, because there's a lot of beginners who take a really long time before they know how to read written patterns, which is totally fine. But I feel like this is very helpful in just getting there a little more quickly. I thought I had heard something about Woobles yarn being specifically formulated or whatever to prevent splitting, but I feel like my hook was still catching on it somehow. I don't know, I was just still feeling that weirdness from earlier. So moving on with the piece, each round has like 11 mini videos to watch, and I did make sure to watch at least a few seconds of each of them, but from this point forward I'm just following the written pattern because I have the gist now of how the tutorials are structured. You know, as I'm watching the tutorials, there's nothing new, it's just repeating of instructions, like how to do a single crochet over and over, and they just continue walking you through it step by step, or you know, having instructions for moving the stitch marker or how to twist the hook, which they already showed me in the beginning, so I don't really need to keep watching it over and over. I think it's very obvious that these instructions were just one long video and they decided to chop it up into these 11 or so mini videos, but it is a little more convenient to have it structured this way instead of trying to like scrub through a 20, 30, 40-minute YouTube tutorial video. You have these little bite-sized sections that you can more easily traverse. So anyways, this is what the progress is looking like so far. And after round 6, they stop showing you the videos. They just straight up take off the training wheels and solely give you the written instructions. My question is, wouldn't a total beginner want like a 100% complete video walkthrough? I was really surprised that they just stopped showing the videos. Maybe this way it's less overwhelming, or maybe they do such a good job of teaching you that by this point you're like, yeah, I actually don't need the videos anymore. Continuing on, this is what my progress was looking like, and now the next round has decreases, and they do teach you an invisible decrease, which is much better for amigurumi in my opinion, so I am happy that they are teaching the invisible decrease. At this point, I was finished with the body, and the next step is stuffing. Now, the stuffing that they give you is pretty run-of-the-mill polyfill, you know, like that cheapy feeling polyfill, so nothing really to write home about, but it gets the job done. Once I finished stuffing, I finished the last round, and then I just had to sew it closed. And next up is making the belly. So this piece we do have to start on our own. Again, the training wheels are coming off. We don't have another pre-started piece for this, so I just quickly worked that up and finished off the belly. My yarn had like these little poopy stains on it. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know what's going on. That was just really weird. So anyway, I sewed on the belly, and then next up we have the eyes. We got to make the little pieces for the eyes, so I quickly worked those up as well and went ahead and inserted the safety eyes. It was kind of tricky inserting them into these tiny little eye pieces, but I managed to get it done. And then after just figuring out the positioning for the eyes, I sewed them on, and now he has eyes. He can see. Yay! Last but not least was to embroider on the mouth, and here is the completed Wooble. I think he came out really cute. I do like the look of him. He was a very simple project, but sometimes it's those simple projects that are just a ton of fun. So my final thoughts about these crochet kits. By the way, I don't even know what footage I'm going to be using for this section, so you're probably going to see some random footage. But I think the materials are high quality. You get a nice crochet hook, a metal yarn needle, the safety eyes are high quality too. I've bought some safety eyes before that just have like little pieces of plastic still stuck on them from the mold, and they're just like super cheap. These safety eyes were pretty good. The yarn is not my favorite, and this is just a pure personal preference. I don't like how it feels to work with it, but the look of it for completed projects is nice. I do like it, and it gives, you know, these projects that signature Woobles look to them. I got this on clearance for $10, and I think the 10 bucks totally worth it. The regular price at my Walmart is $21, and that seemed like a lot to me for this simple project, but I went on their website and this same kit is $30. For $33 at Michael's, you can get the same kind of supplies in greater quantities and make multiple more projects. You can just get so much more value for your money with all of these crochet supplies if you were to just buy them at the craft store. And their collab kits are outrageously priced in my opinion. $45 to make Gudetama. $290 for the entire bundle of Sanrio characters? I'm sorry, but that's crazy. Don't get me wrong, I know exactly what you're paying for. You're paying for materials, convenience, in-depth, very, very in-depth tutorials, and to have the crochet experience handed to you in a cute little package. And also, don't get me wrong, trying to pick just one ball of yarn at the craft store when you're faced with a giant wall of a million yarn balls is very intimidating. How do you even know what size of crochet hook to get? How do you even go about choosing a tutorial? All of that does take research, it takes time, it takes some sort of investment into the craft. And if you don't have the time or the energy to spend on that investment, I completely understand just wanting to start with a kit. And these are really cute, and if it motivates you to get one of these collab kits and start off by making a Hello Kitty, then by all means, do it. If you think this nice, neat little crochet package is worth it for you, then that is awesome. I think these are good kits. I do think that it has high quality materials, so it's not like you're getting scammed or anything. I definitely just think these are a little pricey and you are paying for a lot of convenience. So I think that's my takeaway. If you think you'll have fun with these and you think it's totally worth it, then that is so great. I actually may end up buying some for myself because I really like those Sanrio ones. So that's gonna be it for this video. Let me know, do you want me to check out any other Woobles crochet kits and make another video on them? I could look at the more advanced kits or maybe some collab kits. You let me know, comment down below. But I hope that you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe on your way out for more occasional crochet content here on the channel. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.